What do you want to do?
I don't know. We don't have an intro.
What do you want to do? I don't know. We don't have an intro.
Welcome to the Glaziar Gaming podcast. This is part 2 / just the second other section. I couldn't slide. This is our Marvel section of our podcast. We have 2 sections, a sports and then Marvel entertainment. This is our Marvel / whatever episode, and this is episode 26. That's a long way. That's past a quarter of a letter.
If you put a letter on each episode of the podcast,
this
we
would be
have
Z.
the whole alphabet.
Yeah, we're closer to 50 than 0.
We're so old.
Ah, that's true. And that's true life-wise. Ugh. But yeah, welcome to the podcast. We are so happy to see you here again. And we have some good stuff. We got a lot of news. We got our Hawkeye episode 5 reaction and review. We've got an episode 6... Hawkeye episode 6 information. We have some Tatiana Maslani She-Hulk news, Michael B. Jordan and Black Panther 2 news, Moon Knight news, Shang Chi 2 news. We got some No Way Home stuff. We're gonna go see that this weekend, and we'll be doing a Twitter hiatus so that we don't get spoilers. We have some I Am Groot stuff that came out today, and then we have some miscellaneous news after Marvel, including Sonic 2, Mega Man, and Halo for Paramount.
So good.
And then the last note I put down was that you have a huge schlong.
Oh. We're lying to the people.
And we lied to the people to get the view. We're going to break the ice right away with Hawkeye, and episode 5 happened, which the creator of the show said that her favorite episode was episode 5. She didn't want to pick a favorite, but that was the one that she said if I'm being forced to, it's episode 5. Episode 5, this is the one that comes out right before No Way Home. And No Way Home, Tom Holland just said in an interview, isn't a Christmas movie, but it leads up to the time around Christmas.
Right.
And we saw the Rogers musical in the trailer, so we know it's happening at the same time as Hawkeye.
Yeah. Yep.
So we know there's going to be some correlations between the two. There wasn't any visual direct correlation to it in episode 5 like we thought there might be.
Sure.
However, we've got some fun reveals about characters throughout the episode, and it was a great episode. It was kind of a slow burn episode.
Right.
Not a lot of, action, throwing facts at you and things at you the whole time, but it gave you some good stuff, especially at the end.
Yeah, and basically the good stuff anytime Yelena was on the screen.
Thank you for bringing that up. I've heard a lot of people say that Marvel's doing a great job, desexualizing, de-over-sexualizing their female characters. Don't let people lie to you and think that that's true. They're just doing it in different ways that are less obvious. Within the first 5 minutes, there are at least 4 shots that are just Florence Pugh's rear end. I wanted to be polite about it, but it's just there's a fight scene in the beginning with 3 ladies, including Florence Pugh's one of them, and there's a scene where you only see the feet of the other 2 ladies because all the shot is her
buttocks.
Yeah, her buttocks in her military pants, just like right there, and it's like, yeah, they're not showing as much skin, they're not showing off their upper body parts, but they're still sexualizing the character.
Sure.
So I wanted to bring that up because people are saying that they're doing such a good job. It's just less blatant. There's still a teenage boy is gonna see that and be like, all right, yeah. And non-teenage boys do too, and girls don't want to discriminate. Yeah, lots of people saw that and just probably enjoyed it. But I want to mention that Yelena, however, Florence Pugh, amazing. This show is already great. I tweeted this out because I did do one Hawkeye tweeted, logged back off.
Yeah.
And it was that Florence Pugh / Yelena Belova is a gem, and that she was another great added to an already amazing show.
Right.
And the beginning of it, you get to see she did get blipped, which we knew. I
was like, this was events of Black Widow was 8 years ago compared to where they're at in the timeline. I was like, she's not 8 years older than when she was then.
Right,
so
and the fact that
3 years older.
They've mentioned that they weren't looking for each other, or they weren't with each other, Nat and her. So we knew
if she's about 3 years older, and I would say she's probably was like young 20s, like that's about maybe young 20s, mid 20s.
But we also got to see what it was like for somebody who came back in the blip. How she gets dusted, and then when she forms back in the dust, all the world around her is forming.
Yeah, it's almost like the Monica Rambeau thing too.
Yeah. Yep.
So I those scenes always give you like chills almost.
Yeah, because it was done so well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you found out she got dusted. Found out
when I was watching it with Taylor. I was like she's gonna get. For some reason she's in the bathroom or she's washing her hands or something. I was like, she's gonna get dusted here. I just have a feeling like this is what's gonna happen. Turn up. So crazy.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
And then she comes back. That's when it's between that and the timeline of Hawkeye that's when she's going to be talking to Val and get the you need to go kill Hawkeye. And we find out later in the episode that she did hire Yelena to kill Hawkeye.
Eleanor.
Oh, Eleanor. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we find out that it wasn't her. It wasn't Val that hired her. That somebody did hire her to kill Hawkeye.
Right.
Then in the beginning of the episode, stepdad gets arrested.
Right, Jack
gets arrested because mom Eleanor's like, I'll do some investigation, which we've said it since the beginning. There's something off with the mom.
Right, yeah,
she's the bad person, and it's 100% she's been doing things in Jack's name, so that if anything does get found out, she can frame Jack.
Or Jack's in on it, and this was just a ploy to cover it.
I don't think he is. Yeah. I think Jack is trying to out Eleanor.
Yeah, he was too calm. I feel.
Which is, I think that's part of why he gave her the butterscotch.
Right.
Because I think he's trying to send her hints that he knows, not that he's also like a bad guy. I think he's trying to send hints that he knows and that he's on her side. He just doesn't know how to say it without being and he doesn't want to just flat out say it.
With all the swords around.
Right. So I think he's a good guy, trying to tell Kate, I'm trying to catch your mom, but I can't just... trust your mom. I can't tell you your mom's a bad guy.
Right. And I'm sure he's afraid of the big man,
I'm sure he's afraid of Eleanor and Kingpin.
Yeah.
Which, we get to see Kingpin for the first time at the end of the episode. Yelena does show up at Kate's apartment. They have mac and cheese together and they talk.
That was brilliant the whole time. She was funny.
Yeah, she was funny. She was funny in Black Widow, and she was she was really funny in that scene. And it was just a good conversation back and forth. It was very realistic. Like Kate was still like nervous the whole time because it's like, this is an assassin.
Kate Bishop, like.
Are you saying my full name just to tell me that you know my full? To add so that tell me that you know so much about me?
Yes.
Like, she just like tells her,
And then right at the end, Kate Bishop
threatens her as she leaves. Yeah, but then Yelena eventually, because now that we know that they interact, Yelena texts Kate at the end.
Unknown number. By the way, the person
I found out who hired me, by the way, and it's a picture of Eleanor, her mom, with Kingpin.
It's Eleanor Bishop. I hope you, or I thought you should.
You should know.
Yeah, and then a picture of
Eleanor with Kingpin, which we've been waiting for Kingpin. Tom Holland, in an interview I was watching recently, made a comment about crime in the city and how the events of No Way Home potentially are leading up to a crime lord of some sort, and like he almost let it slip, I felt like. So I think Kingpin is gonna be a staple big villain that we see in Spider-Man as well. Just so cool.
I mean, I think
Vincent D'Onofrio's so great.
I think Spider-Man, our MCU Spider-Man, is too big to put in like a small street fighting movie. But much like a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, it'd be a perfect villain for, say, Miles Morales.
I think
coming up,
our Spider-Man is maybe too big to put in a Kingpin or Hawkeye thing, but Kingpin is big enough to be put into Spider-Man.
Sure. Yeah.
Just in my opinion.
Right.
The rest of the episode is of episode 5 is kind of just like a slow burn, trying to build up for the finale, which is supposed to be an hour long, which is would be the longest Disney Plus show episode yet.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. So I'm also okay with it. With only being 6 episodes.
Too.
There was a 30-second teaser that ended with, or had Kingpin walking with his cane in it. God, and just seeing Kingpin at all just gives you chills.
Even just a hand, a chuckle.
A hand on her face, a picture of him on the phone, and now in the teaser. And in the end credits of episode 5, it's the word Hawkeye around the silhouette of Kingpin, and Vincent D'Onofrio actually sent out a picture, tweeted out a picture of it that said, what else, what can I...
Or when I was a boy.
When I was a boy, with that, with the border.
Yeah.
You did it to us. Got us. No, we knew he was in it because of leaks and rumors and stuff, but he did a great job of acting as if he wasn't in it. And I don't know if the show did it on purpose, if it was bad acting or what, but Eleanor was very clearly a bad person from episode 1. Yeah. When her dad died and Eleanor wasn't panicking, we knew.
Yeah. So that was a little obvious.
So I don't know if that was acting choice, directing choice, writing choice, whatever it was very obvious.
Right, the Jack curveball threw us off the scent a little bit, but then it was like,
And that was as soon as it was Sloane as being is done by Jack, Eleanor's doing it under Jack's name, and the guy died. And Kate, isn't it weird that this person ends up dead by sword after he threatens you? Yeah, because she killed him. Yeah. Like, it's the twist to me is that it's Kingpin that she's working for, and that it's clear that her deal with Kingpin is that Kingpin probably gets to use her security information, track people, use the search software.
You also have the whole little run with Hawkeye and Maya.
Yep, Hawkeye dresses up as Ronin, tells Maya to uses an arrow to send it to the tracksuit. So we're having a very funny conversation themselves, and tells Maya to meet him where he originally met Ronin. Right. Or where she originally met Ronin. Basically where Ronin killed her father, because he knows. And he ends up knocking out every single person that she has surrounding.
She can't hear.
Because she can't hear, yep. So he knocks out the sniper, knocks out all the tracksuits, and then they fight, and he's dressed as Ronin, which is the first time we've really seen him full dressed up since Endgame. Yeah. And, they have a really good fight, but Hawkeye knocks her down. But then Hawkeye takes off his mask, says, "I want you to see my face." And she says, "What? Because now you're going to kill me." And he says, "No, because if you come after my family, I want to let you know it's the last thing you'll see."
Yeah, and then he said that, like, I was told to go there by an informant that works for your boss.
Right. Like, he was telling Maya, he told Maya that there was an informant told him to go there because of Kingpin. Like, Kingpin told him.
Yeah, Kingpin told the informant, which told Hawkeye to go to that place, and then Maya questions the guy
Kazi. Kazi, who knows sign language, the other guy, and so she thinks Hawkeye's lying, but then she probably went and thought about it, and when she asked Kazi, "Why weren't you there that night that my father was killed?" And he's like, "Oh, I just wasn't called to go there." Yeah. And you can see on her face, she's like
bullshit.
So she doesn't trust Kazi now, which means, because Echo does become a good guy in the comics.
She's a girl, if you haven't tell me.
I'm just being, overly accepting, just...
Speaking of which, I had to file for I did renew my license today, and they had male, female, and non-binary. They had 3 options.
Nice. So yeah, over-encompassing word, guy, actor.
Actress.
Well, that's the thing, you're not supposed to use actress anymore. Oh. It's just overarching actor, a lot of actresses.
Did you know that an actor's job is to convince you they're not an actor?
Yeah, acting is the greatest lie. I can't remember whose quote it is, but acting is the greatest lie.
Yeah. That's tangent.
But yeah, anyway,
she's got her Echo series coming up, or supposedly
she's gonna have her own series, so she's probably gonna join the Hawkeye side.
Yeah, the good side.
Right, even though he did kill her dad, she's gonna understand that it was Kingpin is really the big bad.
Uncle.
Unk. Yeah. Unk. And DJ Unk.
Tunk.
Wasn't DJ Unk walk it out, walk it out, walk it out?
I don't know.
Pretty sure that's DJ Unk. Was walk it out. Anyway, another tangent.
Another cosine.
Another cotangent. And next episode, got the teaser. We see that there. It looks like Yelena and Hawkeye and Kate are fighting on the same side.
Yeah.
You can see
or like
when
an ice rink or
when
something.
you see Kingpin's cane and feet. I'm assuming that's just like you said. That's going to be at the Christmas party.
Yeah.
That's going to be at the holiday
the
party.
Bishop family party or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be at. And they're probably going to set it up as a bait for Kingpin at some point, because now that she knows that her mom is working with Kingpin, I really want to figure. I really want so at one point Hawkeye goes to the memorial area of where the Avengers first assembled, and he has a heartfelt conversation to the plaque, talking to Nat because she's not there, and he had like a really sweet conversation about how he thinks about that moment every day.
I need your advice.
That you always had to have your way, even at the end. The end. Yeah, and I really wish Yelena was in the background listening.
I
to
thought
that.
she was. Too.
I figured she was going to be there, like hearing it.
Right.
But instead, she was following Eleanor during doing her own research. And I really hope they get a moment to talk, and Hawkeye doesn't get to explain it to her as he's dying.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't want Yelena to kill Hawkeye and then have Hawkeye be like, let me tell you what happened the day with your sister, and then die. Yeah, I really hope that's not how they do it. Not only is that super cliche, but it's not a good art. It's not a good way to finish
everyone wants Hawkeye to get home to his family.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Everyone.
It's so sad.
I would be upset.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine if Hawkeye retires and never becomes Hawkeye again, but
he himself said he wants to lead the West Coast Avengers.
Right. So
he doesn't
see,
want
but that
to
could be
retire.
throwing people off the trail. I really hope they don't do the cliche dying words are explained to Yelena that she's wrong. And then you create this whole Yelena now has all this guilt for the rest of her life that she killed somebody that loved her sister. Right. I really hope they don't do that. Just it makes Yelena's character worse, and it ruins the whole arc of Hawkeye, and it puts a bad taste in your mouth for Kate Bishop's story. So I really hope they don't do that. Overall, I liked the episode a lot.
Yeah, I did too.
I think the slow burn thing kind of made it so it wasn't as good of an episode as it could have been, but it needed to set up for a huge finale.
Right.
And the information that they put out was needed. So, super good. So good. I don't know if it's the best episode yet, though. I don't know if I would say it's the best one yet. The reveal of Kingpin.
3, the little laugh in 3.
Yeah,
that one.
I feel like episode
awesome.
3 might be better.
4 was really good too. I don't know. I think we're in a good stretch.
Good,
so.
yeah. Overall, terrific series, and they're killing it. So, good representation of another hearing impaired character, just like Makari. So,
Makari, Hawkeye,
Echo. Yeah, I just think it's awesome the things that they're doing, and yeah, overall, watch it. If you haven't watched it, watch it. If you have watched it, let us know what you thought about it, because I absolutely love it. If you didn't watch the whole credits, the silhouette with Kingpin is worth just watching the fast forwarding, watching the credits. It gives you chills. I'm really excited for the finale, and we can either do a full review of the show or just a finale review next week. And that's all we got for Hawkeye. Got anything else?
Florence Pugh looked great with any hairstyle.
Her makeup was done really well in the beginning scenes with where she's helping out the previous widow, like trying to save the previous widow, and also in the scene where she's eating mac and cheese. Like I was like, oh, her makeup looks strikingly good. Her hair looked really nice.
And then even when she's like trailing Eleanor.
Yep, she just looks really good. Which, I mean, it's obvious she's very attractive, just like most people in Marvel and all of Hollywood. They just
and us.
Yeah. But it's like, I just keep thinking about it because you said it on TikTok. There's those people that's like, oh, which Marvel actor does he like most? Yeah. And people are always, oh, it's Elizabeth Olsen, it's Scarlet Witch, Florence, it's all these. Yeah. But I mean, there's so many beautiful.
Give me some of yours.
Groot.
Oh,
Rocket.
Okay.
Collector.
Okay. For me, it's Korg.
Fenrir. Odin. No, I mean, there's just so many. I mean, like Cersei, beautiful.
Right.
Icarus. Well, I mean, exactly, like Icarus. Dane Whitman, super pretty. Like, and Kazi looks a lot like Dane Whitman.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is that? I thought it was him at first. But yeah, there's lots. Monica Rambeau is another one, just super gorgeous. There's just a ton of very attractive people. So yes, Florence Pugh was another addition to the super attractive people in Marvel. Sure. So is Kate Bishop. And that's all we have for Hawkeye.
All right.
Everybody looks good. Everybody looks almost as good as the show is, or even better.
Yeah.
Next topic that we are going to cover is She-Hulk, which is Tatiana Maslani is answering some important questions, asking some important questions. She wants to know what happens to She-Hulk when she's on her period.
Yeah.
And they also had questions
about her poops.
About poop. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very important.
Answering the tough stuff.
We actually asked, I think it was last week or maybe it was off camera. We were asking about Hulk and She-Hulk, what happens. Like, I want them. Oh yeah, we were talking about the fourth wall breaks,
right?
And we want them to be, when we talk to each other. I want Hulk or her to ask Hulk, like, does it get bigger?
Right.
Like, we were talking about that last week. How we wanted it to toe the line of, is this okay to ask each other? But I wanted them to ask those sorts of questions.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like TV mature, but I think it needs to be like.
Because that wouldn't be mature. That'd still be PG-13 to say, like, does it get bigger?
Right.
Right.
Or, I mean, the cousin.
What are your poops like?
Yeah.
Like, I would.
Right. Yeah.
It would be. What happens if you're halfway through and you turn back to human?
Right. Yeah, she didn't know if they go back to small poops or.
Right.
I don't know.
I think those are important questions. Personally, I don't think they would. I think they would have enough control in moments like that to either stay Hulk form or before they start go human.
Well, here's the thing also, like,
because you can get real angry at it.
Does Hulk have a toilet that fits him?
Well, exactly. Do they have toilets, or do they just go outside and people are like, oh, there must be a bear. I didn't realize elephants were in New York. It's just, I don't know. And I've thought about it. We talked about this. Their organs must get bigger, right?
I mean, their
whole
body.
My theory was that part of why they're so indestructible, why you can't cause damage, is because their skin and muscle and everything is so thick. Their organs stay the same size, but everything is so thick that it doesn't really damage them.
Like that little, like a little heart, and like, I don't know.
It's radioactive. But yeah, so asking the important questions, and honestly, we don't have the answers to them.
No. Hopefully we find out more when She-Hulk hits Disney Plus.
I hope we find out more, and it might be a question that's better for one of the creators.
Yeah. Maybe once Twitter comes back, I'll tweet at
them.
Yeah.
Yo, what happens when they poop, though?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for She-Hulk. Next thing is, so Black Panther 2, we talked about it last week. Letitia Wright potentially might be out. Rumor is that she's actually going to be part of filming, and filming is supposed to start up again in 2 months.
Yeah,
and
like
that
early next
they
year,
plan on having her there. So I think that rumor has kind of been put to rest. However, behind the scenes, which it was obviously leaked, Michael B. Jordan has been being talked to by Marvel.
Yeah.
And he just came out in an interview saying he doesn't believe Killmonger is a villain. And that he believes Killmonger was trying to protect and do the right thing just by breaking more rules than a good guy normally does. But he doesn't view Killmonger as a villain. And my thought is, this is totally the sort of thing Disney or Marvel would want to come out so that people talk about it, so that they can bring Killmonger back.
Right. I mean,
that was our #1 choice. We said bringing Killmonger in.
There's 3 people that can be Black Panther. Like, if you want M'Baku, whatever. If you want Bucky, it doesn't. Those things can't happen.
I mentioned you can't do Bucky.
Yeah, and M'Baku worships a different god, and the other 2 are.
You can't do the White Wolf storyline because of racial sensitivity right now. Just all of them. They've been making a lot of the right decisions when it comes to race-based characters. Black Panther did a lot for the African American community. Replacing T'Challa with the White Wolf would not go over well.
Right. No, I think Killmonger. I mean, I don't think at the end of Black Panther 1, he easily could have saved Killmonger.
Yeah.
At the end, so he could still be alive in a Wakandan prison. Right?
For sure.
So
we don't have proof that Killmonger's dead.
Yeah. So if say if Namor comes up and Namor kills T'Challa, and Killmonger hears about it. He breaks out somehow, and he's got a whole redemption arc on how he can stop Namor and protect Wakanda.
I'm all for it.
So
I'm all for Killmonger being the new lead. I'm still all for Shuri, but they got to get that settled first. Yeah. So I think that's totally Michael B. Jordan. Those pieces of information is totally a Disney Marvel. By the way, let's make sure this little bit of information comes out in case this happens.
Sure.
Totally that's just like all the Spider-Man stuff. Oh, we accidentally forgot to take out the other Spider-Man in
Lizard
that
getting punched.
We forgot to edit out Lizard getting punched. That's all purposeful Disney Marvel stuff. Disney Marvel stuff. Moon Knight, though. Moon Knight apparently is going to be the most violent, hyper-violent show that Disney Plus has had yet, bordering on the lines of what they can do with PG-13.
Got it.
Wanted to bring that up because, first of all, I love Moon Knight, but also because this is going to should be different than what you see. It sounds like it might not even be if you have like a kid's profile on Disney Plus.
Won't be.
I don't think it'll be available to choose.
Okay. Fine with it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be like it will be PG-13 plus, not PG to PG-13.
Right.
Yeah, that sort of thing. It's gonna
PG pushing the borderline to R.
Absolutely. So that's very cool, very good news, because the closer they toe that line, the eventually they'll be willing to push over and do R.
Yeah, and that corner. It's not the whole MCU either. It's a corner of the universe. Moon Knight can still come into the PG-13 projects and be fine, not splatter blood.
But a lot of the Midnight Suns solo act or Midnight Suns overall should it be
murder people.
Blade better R.
Yeah. Venom
would be way better R.
Punisher is the very R hyper.
They're good movies as PG-13, good shows as PG-13. I think there are certain parts that would be better R.
Yeah.
Like Venom. Showing the blood and guts of Venom biting off somebody's head doesn't necessarily make it better, in my opinion.
Right.
But, in my opinion, swearing and certain scenes, like Carnage, when he's going through the prison, it was clear.
He impales people. The worst thing you can have is like a blood splatter behind them.
Right. They used you could tell they had to hide things.
Yeah.
Because Carnage was doing things. It just. There are certain things that would be better R, but it doesn't make or break the movie being R PG-13. Moon Knight's one of those things that if it toes the line because it has to, it would be better R. Since we're talking about Disney Plus, I Am Groot. Originally we weren't sure when it was.
You are?
I am, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
I am Negan.
Oh, nice. I'm Venom. Groot, nobody knew when it was going to come out. It wasn't released what time. It's going to come out in 2022.
Okay, yeah, we're eating in 2022, just with anything.
I hope so.
With Marvel, with DC, with everything. With Amazon, we got some Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the Rings looks so
the Halo
good.
thing.
Mega Man.
We're
gonna have a lot of Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic.
We're gonna have a lot of good stuff in 2022, but one of those things will be Groot, and nobody was sure when Groot was gonna come out, and that's way earlier. People were thinking end of 2023. It sounds like it might be midway or early 2022.
Okay.
I'm excited. Groot's one of the most fun characters that nobody really knew about before Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and then Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and the second one came out with Baby Groot, and all of a sudden just explosion. Marvel was rolling in the dough of Groot merch. I Am Groot.
Money was figuratively and literally growing on trees.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
Poetic. You know what you write poems on? Paper. You know what paper comes from? Trees. Wow. Unless it's hemp paper, which is more biodegradable. Anyway, so yeah, coming out 2022. I'm excited. We're going to watch that. We'll review that too.
We'll watch them all.
But coming out much sooner than expected. And then we have two last pieces of Marvel news. Looks like I'm flipping off. I was like going like...
Two more.
Two more. First thing is No Way Home. Started Monday. Critics were allowed to see it Monday. Fans and public Tuesday. And
Wednesday.
Certain parts of the world got to see it Tuesday.
Yeah.
People were spoiling it immediately, which is why we haven't been on social media. There's things that people apparently are spoiling that you can already infer we're not. By the way, this is not. We're not doing that now. I'm just saying that that you can infer that people are spoiling, but it's like you're still spoiling, even though people know that it's true. You're spoiling stuff for no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why we're staying off Twitter and that sort of thing. However, the thing I wanted to say is that 95% right now on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's got to be one of the top.
That would be the highest.
movies.
If it finished at 95, it would be the highest Marvel rated movie.
Isn't that Into the Spider-Verse at like
89?
Oh,
I think
Black
Into the
Panther's
Spider-Verse
up there.
Yeah, it's something like Into the Spider-Verse was 89 or 92, and then Black Panther was like 89, and then there was one of the newer ones. Shang Chi was like 88,
right.
something like that. So it's currently like the highest rated or second highest rated Marvel movie. There was one guy.
Oh, Eternals.
Yeah. Eternals was my first time. I was like, nope. There was one guy that I actually not subscribed to, but I follow on Twitter that I did on the last day that I was on Twitter. He did tweet out a spoiler-free review, quick tweet review, and he said it's the most must-see Marvel movie yet. That if you have to see one, if you pick one Marvel movie out of all the Marvel movies that have existed, this is the one to see. And he said, by the way, absolutely stick to the second credit scene. Whatever you do, he said, absolutely stick until the second credit scene.
Sure.
So he's also the same guy that said that the credit scenes in Eternals will absolutely blow you away, and it's like gave you chills, which they didn't for me, but I believe it this time around.
Right.
And
yeah, with all the speculation, what that second one could be too. So
I think I know. I'm gonna do a quick prediction. So if you want to view that as a spoiler, go ahead and skip forward to the next part. Because I don't know if this is a spoiler. My prediction. So it's Doctor Strange. In the most recent clip of Spider-Man No Way Home, the quick scene, it looked like they were flying over the same area as Doctor Strange's shadow in WandaVision, in the last episode of WandaVision, where it's like, oh, is that a rendering issue? It looks like they're in this. It obviously could just be the same rendering. It could be the same green screen background, just lazy creation. My guess is Wanda shows up in one of the credit scenes, or they make a Wanda reference.
Right.
So whether it's you see her chaos magic, you don't see her. I think it's going to be a Wanda thing.
Yeah, I think I've ran this past you where I think Doctor Strange is like trying to like put the multiverse back together, like trying to bring it together, right? But then that's at the same time Wanda's messing with the Darkhold, and she hears her kids. And she hears her kids that are alive in a different reality, so and then Wanda's like, nah, screw this, and just is like, and just rips it open,
tears it open to try to get to her kids.
Yeah, and then Doctor Strange can't stop a Nexus being. So
well, yeah, you can't stop Wanda. She's the most powerful Marvel character.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a good prediction. I think even if that's not specifically it, I think it's going to be a Wanda thing.
Yeah.
I just, if I had to guess. If I had to pick one, if they're going to make one reference, I think the first credit scene will probably be Hawkeye, Kingpin, and then the second credit scene would be Wanda, or it'll be Venom, Wanda, Wanda, something like that. It's going to be Venom, Wanda, or Hawkeye, like something like that.
Sure.
That would be my guess. So if you viewed that as a spoiler, apologies, but we don't have that confirmed. That's just a guess. The last thing is a Shang Chi 2 news, because it's fun. One of my favorite actors of all time. Destin Cretin, the director, said his dream casting of a character in Shang-Chi 2 would be Jackie Chan. And he wants Jackie Chan to be involved. He said it would be a dream.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Jackie Chan Adventure? I was about to ask, like, do you remember the Jackie Chan Adventure show?
Just sitting there waiting for an answer.
It was a Jackie Chan's animated show. I have that whole series on DVD. I just absolutely love it. I have multiple Jackie Chan movies, including all the ones that people don't think are good, like The Medallion and Tuxedo. I love Jackie Chan in his movies, just as a person and his acting. I love it. And the fact that he does majority of his own stunts. Another person that does the majority of their own stunts is Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. Both try to do the majority of their own. But yeah, Jackie Chan. So I think, and Simu Liu said he would be all for it as well.
Yeah.
Please, with the combat style and shooting and fight cinematography, whatever, fight choreography that they had for Shang-Chi 2, you could have Jackie Chan put in his own influence,
right?
Or you could have him follow it and he would just kill it.
Yeah.
You could put him as a villain. He'd be better as a hero, but he
like
could
a mentor.
Oh my god,
thing.
just anything, please.
Right.
I would even as a cameo.
Yeah, just a cameo. I think that'd be great.
He belongs in Shang-Chi so much. I want him in that. I would be fine if he was in any Marvel movie, but Simu Liu has brought up Jackie Chan in the past. Now Destin Daniel Cretin has, so God,
for it.
Please. That's
it'd
it for Marvel.
It'd be funny if Shang-Chi's still gets cars. Valet.
Yeah.
He's still a valet, and then like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker like rolled in.
I know that a lot of younger people don't like the Rush Hour movies, but I would laugh.
Rush Hour be canon.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan like hands him the keys, and Chris Tucker's like,
his voice gets so high. Yeah. Oh man, I like Chris Tucker a lot too. That's another person, and Chris Rock. Anyway, there's so many actors I want to see in Marvel, but Jackie Chan would be one of them. It sounds like they would want him as like an actual fighting role though.
Right. Well, he could do it.
He could do it.
There, but he could do it.
Doesn't matter. He could do it for sure. But that's it for Marvel news. I hope you enjoyed. The last thing we're going to do before sending you on your way to have a great holiday, if you celebrate it. If not, just a great weekend. Great next couple weeks. We're going to do our miscellaneous section. First thing is there was a teaser that just came out for the Halo Paramount show. The Halo Paramount show. Paramount. And it looks really good. They don't really show you much, unfortunately, but it looks really good. I don't know if you saw it.
I did not see it.
Yeah. It's like another one. It's like 45 seconds to a minute, something like that. I loved the games.
Oh, yeah.
Halo 3 is still one of my favorite games ever. The Forge mode, I spent hours, and it was the first time that I had like done. So I didn't have internet growing up, and so I went to a friend's house, went to Halo 3, and we spent 2 days making a map. And I didn't realize that you could put your map up for download. And the map I made had over 10,000 downloads.
Nice.
Because his name was Ben. And next time I went to his house, he told me, by the way, that map you made had over 10,000 downloads.
That's awesome.
And it was I made like a obstacle course Forge match, and the spawning room was 4 walls. And it looks like you can't go anywhere, but you had to hug the left wall and jump. And then once you got to the apex of your jump, you could hit mount vehicle, and you went through the wall and mounted the miniature warthog. What are those called? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
But yeah, you mount one of those, and then that's when the start of the obstacle course comes. So it starts with like a little trick, and then it was like an obstacle course, and then once you get through the obstacle course was the map. And both players had to start on their own and get through it before they got to the map. It was so fun. So I have a very deep connection to Halo. And it was the first thing that made me think I could make video games or do something along video games. Preferably like make a video game is all-time dream. And yeah, I'm gonna watch for sure. Let's move on to the last 2 topics. The first one is...
There's 3.
That was one of the 3.
Oh, there was 4.
The last one was you have a massive schlong.
Oh.
We don't need to talk about that. They can tell. Anyway, Mega Man movie, live action, going to be made by Netflix is my only issue. Is because I just, Netflix has a good production value. Like, they put in a lot of money, but they don't invest in products unless they know they're going to make money.
Right.
So, like, they invested a bunch into The Witcher, but they didn't, like, Season 2 has a way more investment because they want to see if it makes money first.
Right, and Henry Cavill got 600,000 more an episode.
That's what I mean. Like, they're investing more because it's making more, which I get it from a business standpoint, but also, if you don't make that initial investment, the show's not going to be popular.
Yeah,
that's why all these shows get canceled after 1 season.
Cowboy Bebop, which is kind of what I compare to this, it's like an anime-style show. Kind of like what I envision Mega Man is, anime-style show. But
live action, yeah.
But, yeah, and your Cowboy Bebop got
canceled after 1 season.
So, I don't know, it does scare me in regards to, like, at this.
Because Netflix isn't going to put in the effort unless it's successful. Well, it's not going to be successful if you don't put in the value for it. So I'll definitely watch it because I like Mega Man a lot. It's some of my favorite games ever.
Right.
And as a kid, how many kids put something random on their hand and were like, like a Pringles can.
Pringles can for other things.
What? What'd you use it for? Oh, like, oh!
Sure.
I like Mega Man a lot.
Yeah.
And there's so many different Mega Man forms. And I always forget how much there are. But there's a guy that I'm just like an online friend who loves Mega Man. And he does Pokemon theme battles. And he names all the Pokemon after different Mega Man. He has like hundreds all named after different Mega Man. I'm always like, God, there's so many different Mega Man. So,
Mega Man.
Mega Men. Mega Man, but there's also Mega Women, Mega Girl.
Oh.
Anyway, I hope Netflix doesn't destroy it and get it canceled after one season.
Right.
And if they do, I hope somebody else gets the rights to it.
Sure.
Last thing is another thing that was successful after they had to do a whole bunch of remakes. Sonic 2. Because the first one had to get completely redone.
Yeah.
And a bunch of animators lost their jobs.
Yeah.
Because they spent 6 months of deficit. They had to
do that
to reanimate it, and then they all got fired afterward. Yeah, no, I'm not salty about that at all. Sonic 2 came out a while back before, like when Idris Elba was
trailer came out.
Yeah, when it was initially announced that Idris Elba was going to be Knuckles, he said, "I'm not going to make Knuckles sexy." And then we just saw the trailer.
Yep. You lied to us.
And he lied to us. Knuckles, you know.
You think I need your power? Something like that.
Yeah. Stops him.
Stopping him like
everything
in there. So I mean, right now
I already saw people saying they want Knuckles to take him to Pound Town, so it's over.
It's not as bad as Victor and Jace.
No, it's the same people. The same people I follow that are talking about Victor are the same people saying they're in love with Knuckles. Specifically, one Riot employee that I follow. That she just absolutely loves Victor, and she says that she has a very bad addiction to falling in love with 2D men. And she said that Shadow and Knuckles both growing up were just and I was like, good gracious. I mean, I get it, but come on.
But I mean, obviously Knuckles is on like it appears like Knuckles is on the bad side right now. Like
at first, yeah.
So yeah, it'll eventually switch, and then hopefully there's the Shadow teaser.
Hopefully we see Shadow, because we see Tails, we see more traditional Eggman look from Jim Carrey, and we see Knuckles. So what we're missing is Shadow, and there's also some other the pink girl.
Rouge or Rogue?
Well, that's on the bad side, right?
Right.
There's also the girl.
Yeah. I know.
Like Sonic X.
Yeah.
And then there's the alligator. That's Shadow's partner.
Yeah.
There's so many characters you can do. If this one's successful, they're going to keep expanding the universe. So, and then eventually they'll flip the ring, and it's going to be Doctor Strange on the other side.
Exactly.
Coincidence? Coincidence? Sling ring looks like the ring in Sonic. Coincidence? Yes.
Oh yeah. Opening the eye, but
anyway, that's all we got. That's all the news we have for you. We will do an episode next week. It's not going to be like, oh, we're taking a vacation for the holidays. We don't take days off unless we're probably, if we do take a day off, we're probably not feeling well.
Yeah.
It's probably really bad. Yeah. And even then, it'll probably just be done the day after or day before. So we'll see you next week. If you made it this far in the video or in the podcast on Spotify, like, subscribe, follow, do all the things that you can do because it really helps us out and we appreciate it a lot. Won't badger, it won't take too long. So you all look great today. Go out, make a difference. GG.
GG.